I'm Liz Graciela, and your Skyline Scoop starts right now. Welcome to the new year. Hope y'all had a great break. We made some changes in the new year here at Skynet News. Let's go meet the new face of Skynet's weather segment.
Hi Raiders, welcome back to a new year at Skyline. I'm going to be your new weather forecaster from here on out. I may not be weather with Dave, but I am weather with Clarissa. Tune in tomorrow for this new wonderful decade.
Glad to have you here, Clarissa. Our lunch segment will also have a different look this year as well. Let's take a look.
Hello, my name is James Johnson. I am the cafeteria lead. I am the assistant to Miss Ramona Williams. My job is to make sure that every employee that works in the cafeteria can know what's on the recipe and do the recipe exactly according to the standards of the recipe. We make sure that the food is cooked at the right temperatures. We make sure that the employees know how to calibrate their thermometers to make sure that everything is on the line properly and at the right temperature.
Before we left for the break, we had a computer science education week. Let's see what our Skyline students are up to.
Hi, I'm Carla from Skyline, and I'm here with
Jesus.
And what are you doing here today?
So it's basically just computer science week, and we're just giving like a little preview of like when like people coming by about like computer science and like programming and stuff like that, and like the different branches that goes into like robotics and just computer programming, and that's about it.
We're teaching all the kids at Skyline what we do in CSA. So we have our robotics program right here, and then over here we have our TSA. So we have a 3D printer. This is one of the things we've printed. It's a skull that rotates.
And this is just like a little showcase from last year, because we went to 2 competitions. Like it was one in California, and then we went one to Iowa. And this is like the robot, and this is the trophy that we won that took us there. So this is just a little showcase from last year about robotics.
We won this one last Saturday, and we won this at the competition before, and it's awarded to the teams who show the best sportsmanship. And then this one is just for the judges' overall favorite. So people who did good sportsmanship, had a good robot, and just overall had a really good tournament.
Skyline's green team picks up our recycling every week. They're here to tell us how to properly recycle.
All right, we're supposed to recycle plastic bottles, metals, paper, cardboard, okay? And if we do any containers, then need to make sure they don't have no liquid, okay? Paper, glass bottles, that's fine. But we cannot include food, paper bags, or any of this stuff, okay? Styrofoam at all whatsoever. So this is what we need to recycle all the time.
These are recyclable. Paper and card. This cannot be recyclable. This is an example of it.
Yeah, this is recyclable too.
Teachers, make sure to leave your recycling bins outside so green team can know that we need to recycle that. One reason that you can be in green team is that you get 1 hour of community service. You get 1 hour of community service. You help with recycling, so it's beneficial. You're helping the school in some way. And it's a fun experience. You make more friends, meet new people, and have lots of fun.
Join Green Team!
In today's video, we'll be discussing the 7 signs you're emotionally burnt out. Ever since the term was first coined by American psychologist Herbert Freudenberger back in the 1970s, burnout has been a popular topic of interest for many scholars in the field of psychology. Based on a study by Later and others, emotional burnout is defined as a negative psychological state that may manifest physical, behavioral, and cognitive symptoms that impair our normal functioning and cause us severe distress. No matter what you do or how you do it, stress is an inevitable part of life. Everyone has to deal with it from time to time. However, when stress gets out of hand and becomes too much for you to cope with, it will put your mental health at risk. Here are 7 signs that can help you tell if you're emotionally burnt out. 1. You're chronically fatigued. There's a difference between being tired and fatigued. Both are responses to stressors, but tiredness goes away with the right amount of rest and recuperation, while fatigue is more enduring. When you're emotionally burnt out, it can feel like no amount of food, sleep, or relaxation can make you feel better. You're exhausted all the time. 2. You're not taking care of yourself. Are there any concerning changes in your eating and sleeping patterns? These changes are often the first and most prominent signs of emotional burnout. When you stop eating or sleeping right, it negatively impacts both your physical and mental health. According to researchers Pallavi and Herman, people who feel emotionally exhausted often experience loss of appetite and lack of restful sleep. In severe cases, some people even feel so drained that they stop showering, exercising, brushing their teeth, and dressing presentably altogether. Before we jump to the next point, we also want to let you know that we previously released a video on types of highly sensitive people. If you haven't gotten a chance to watch it, do check it out later. Basically, HSPs are also more likely to get emotionally burnt out. So if you find yourself easily being drained emotionally, then you might be an HSP. 3. Your performance is declining. Have you noticed the quality of your work go down lately? Are you less productive at what you do? Try comparing your performance from a few months or years ago to how it is today and see if there's a significant difference. Emotional burnout is a gradual process that takes place over an extended period of time, so it can be difficult to pinpoint when exactly your performance started to worsen. Looking at it from a long-term perspective can help you figure out whether or not you've just hit a temporary rough patch or if you're already suffering emotional exhaustion. 4. You're emotionally volatile. Do you often throw temper tantrums at the slightest provocation? When you neglect your mental health and fail to satisfy your emotional needs, it's harder for your mind to function as well as it used to. This may manifest as difficulty controlling and maintaining your emotions. If you're suffering from emotional exhaustion, your feelings are likely all over the place. You become more sensitive and irritable. Frustration, pessimism, guilt, and anger are common, as well as feelings of emptiness and dread. All of these are telltale signs that your mind is already crying for help. 5. You feel down most of the time. According to a study by Bianchi and others in 2015, lack of energy and motivation are to be expected in the early stages of burnout, but symptoms of anxiety and depression may develop over time if the problem is left untreated. If you're feeling down more than not, it's time for you to start taking better care of yourself, mentally and emotionally. 6. Your social life is going downhill. Being emotionally burnt out may cause you to have no energy or desire to spend time with your loved ones. Do you tend to push away your friends and family without meaning to? Do you find yourself neglecting your social roles and duties as a sibling, partner, or friend? Do you experience more interpersonal conflicts? Emotional burnout is a very ugly and painful experience that often affects not just our mental health, but our social functioning as well. In fact, studies have shown that social withdrawal and isolation is one of the worst consequences of poor mental health, causing a lot of people to suffer alone in silence. Lastly, 7. You feel hopeless. Emotional burnout usually gives way to feelings of despair, emptiness, and detachment. You spend all of your time and energy mulling over all the things you need to do, and end up leaving none of it for yourself and your well-being. You start to feel unfulfilled by the things that used to give your life meaning, and you find it hard to feel any sort of pleasure at all anymore because you fear that nothing you do will matter in the end. You don't see the point of it all anymore, so you give up. In a culture that values achievement, success, and productivity, it's easy to lose yourself in your work or your school. A lot of us have been brought up to believe that we must always push ourselves to excel and do our very best all the time. However, it's important to know when to draw the line and find the time to care for ourselves and put our emotional needs first. Emotional burnout is an easy trap to fall into, but difficult to climb out of. Fortunately, though, it doesn't just happen overnight. Self-awareness is key. Once you've recognized the signs of emotional burnout, Try to find out what could be the root cause of it. Do all these signs sound familiar to you? How many signs do you relate to? What do you think might be the cause of it, and what do you plan to do next?
That's all for today, Readers. Be sure to catch up on all things Skyline by following us at Skyline Broadcasting, and to make sure you never miss an episode of Your Skyline Scoop, you can sign up to receive mobile broadcasts by texting Coing to 81010 or visit us at skynetbroadcasting.org. I'm Liz Graciela, and from everyone here from Skyline Broadcasting, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
It's such a nice day.